You get the degree, you land the good job, you save a little bit, you follow all the rules, so why does it feel like you're constantly running in place while others seem to build wealth almost effortlessly? What if the problem isn't your effort, but the rules you're following? That feeling of being stuck, of pedaling faster and faster but going nowhere, is one of the most frustrating experiences in modern life. But it's not a personal failure. It's the result of playing a game where the rulebook you were handed was designed to keep you in the race, not to help you win it. This video isn't about working harder. It's about learning to play a different game entirely. We've synthesized decades of research from behavioral psychology and the stories of the world's most successful people to uncover a hidden money mindset that operates on a completely different set of principles. The value proposition is simple. By the end of this video, you will understand the real rules. You will learn how to stop being a pawn in a financial system you can't control and start becoming a conscious player who builds wealth on your terms. So, what is this trap we feel? It's a cycle so common it has a name: the rat race. It begins with an emotion: fear. The fear of not paying your bills, of not having enough. That fear wakes you up and sends you to work. Then you get your paycheck, and a second emotion kicks in: desire. You see all the things money can buy, and a pattern is born. Get up, go to work, pay bills. Get a raise, upgrade your lifestyle, and suddenly, the bigger paycheck feels just as tight as the old one. The cage is comfortable, but it's still a cage. Now, the logical mind says the solution is to be smarter, get more education, learn complex financial strategies. But that's not it. Consider this true story. A janitor with no formal financial training quietly builds an $8 million fortune. In another city, a Harvard-educated, top-level financial executive who earns millions goes completely bankrupt. What happened? The executive was a genius at making money. The janitor was a master of a different, hidden skill. He understood that wealth isn't a hard science, it's a soft skill. And the game is played not on a spreadsheet, but in your mind. The reason so many of us feel stuck is because we are being run by an invisible script, a kind of subconscious program called a financial blueprint. Think of it like a thermostat. Your thermostat might be set for $50,000 a year. If you suddenly make $90,000, your blueprint will kick in. You'll overspend, make a bad investment, or an unexpected emergency will pop up. Your subconscious finds a way to get rid of the excess money to bring you back to the temperature you're set for. This is why lottery winners so often go broke. Their thermostat is set for thousands, not millions. So the most important question is, who set your thermostat? You didn't. It was programmed for you long before you ever earned your first dollar. It was installed in 3 primary ways. First, through verbal programming, the things you heard over and over. Money is the root of all evil. Rich people are greedy. Or the classic, we can't afford that, which trains your brain to shut down instead of asking, how can we afford that? Second, through modeling. You unconsciously absorb the financial habits of your parents. If they fought about money, you might associate money with conflict. If they were obsessive savers who never enjoyed life, you might rebel by becoming a spender or live in that same constant state of fear. But the most powerful programming comes from specific incidents. Consider the true story of a nurse. She was excellent at her job and earned a great income, but she was always broke. No matter what she did, she subconsciously sabotaged herself, giving her money away or spending it on frivolous things. Through therapy, she uncovered a traumatic memory. When she was a child, she heard her parents arguing loudly about money. During the argument, her father had a massive heart attack and died right in front of her. Her young mind forged a powerful hidden link. Money equals pain. To her subconscious, getting rid of money was literally a way to get rid of the pain and save herself. This is why you feel stuck. It's not your work ethic, it's not your intelligence. It's a hidden blueprint running your life from the shadows. The first step to escaping this cage is simply to realize that it exists, to become aware. Now that we see the invisible programming, what's the first tangible rule that this programming gets completely wrong? It's the biggest deception in personal finance, and it's likely sitting on your balance sheet right now. Okay, so our internal blueprint can be flawed, but surely the advice we get from the outside world, from our parents, from financial experts, from society itself, is solid, right? Let's test that. What is the biggest financial goal most people strive for? Buying a home. It's the cornerstone of the middle-class dream. We are told over and over that our home is our biggest asset. This is the great deception, and for most people, it's a lie. To understand why, we have to throw out the complicated definitions and adopt the simple, powerful rule that the wealthy live by. This isn't about accounting jargon, it's about cash flow. It's about the direction money moves. Rule number 1 of the wealthy mindset. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. Think of a rental property that generates monthly income, or stocks that pay dividends. It's a money-making machine, big or small, that works for you while you sleep. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Period. That's it. It's that simple. So let's look at that home again. Every single month, money flows out of your pocket for the mortgage, for taxes, for insurance, for the new water heater, for the roof repair. It is a money-draining machine. The rich understand this. They don't see the world in terms of good or bad things to buy. They see it through the ruthless lens of cash flow. Does this purchase feed me, or do I have to feed it? This one simple misunderstanding is the engine of the rat race. The average person's life story, told through numbers, looks like this. They work hard at their job to earn an income. That income then flows immediately out to pay for their liabilities, the house, the car, the credit card debt they took on to furnish the house and put a nicer car in the driveway. Their money works for everyone but themselves. It works for the bank, the government, and the credit card companies. Now look at the story of the wealthy. They use their income to do one thing: buy and build their asset column. They acquire things that generate more income. And then, here's the magic. They use the cash flow from their assets to pay for their luxuries. The middle class buys liabilities. The rich buy assets. That's the entire game. Mastering this one simple distinction is the key to escaping the cage. It's how you stop working for money and start having money work for you. Okay, so the goal is to buy real assets, but that feels risky. What happens when the market crashes? The wealthy have a hidden way of thinking about fear that allows them to not just survive the storm, but to come out stronger. So you've started to rewire your blueprint. You know the difference between an asset and a liability. You're ready to start building your asset column. But then you hear the stories. The market crashes. Fortunes are wiped out overnight. And that primal emotion, fear, comes roaring back. This is where the hidden mindset reveals its most crucial secret. It understands that getting rich and staying rich are two completely different skills. Getting rich often involves taking big risks, being optimistic, and putting yourself out there. But staying rich, that involves the opposite. It requires a touch of paranoia. Jesse Livermore was one of the greatest stock traders ever. In 1929, he made the equivalent of $3 billion in a single day, but his confidence swelled into arrogance. He took bigger and bigger risks, convinced he couldn't fail, until he was completely wiped out. The wealthy mindset knows this story, and it knows that the most powerful force in building wealth isn't hitting home runs. It's survival. It's staying in the game long enough for the magic of compounding to work. 99% of Warren Buffett's net worth was earned after his 50th birthday. His skill wasn't just investing. His secret was time. He survived 14 recessions without being forced to sell his assets. So how do you guarantee survival? You build a margin of safety. You plan on the plan not going according to plan.
This means you don't stretch your finances to the absolute limit. You have savings you can't predict needing. You have a budget that can withstand a surprise expense. You understand that cash earning 1% in the bank isn't inefficient. Its real return is the priceless ability to not sell your assets in a panic during a downturn. This buffer is what makes you financially unbreakable.
This creates a powerful mindset the wealthy call paranoid optimism. You are paranoid enough about the short-term dangers to build a fortress that ensures your survival. But you are optimistic enough about the long-term growth of the economy to stay invested for the decades it takes to build real wealth. And this is where they use a powerful mental switch to reframe fear. When the market drops 20%, most people see it as a fine, a punishment for doing something wrong. It triggers panic. The wealthy mindset sees it as a fee. It's the price of admission. It's the cost you pay to get the incredible long-term returns that the market provides. You don't get angry about the ticket price for Disneyland because you know it's the cost for the amazing experience inside. Volatility is just the ticket price for wealth. This simple reframe turns panic into perspective. And finally, the survival mindset knows the most important number: enough. The danger of wanting more is that it pushes you to take risks that could lead to regret. The wealthy mindset knows that some things, your freedom, your reputation, your family, are priceless and should never be risked for money you don't need. The goal isn't to get the absolute highest return. The goal is to get pretty good returns that you can stick with for the longest possible time. So we have the right internal blueprint, we know what real assets are, and we now have the psychological toolkit to survive the journey. But what is it all for? If it's not just about a big pile of cash, what is the real endgame? So we've rewired our blueprint, we're focused on buying real assets, and we've developed the psychological endurance to survive the journey. We are on the path to building wealth. But here, we have to ask the most important question of all. Why? What is the real endgame? Most people would point to that: the fancy car, the big house, the luxury goods, the symbols of being rich. But here's the paradox of the nice car. When you see someone driving a Ferrari, you don't think, wow, that person is so cool. You think, wow, if I had that car, people would think I'm so cool. The car is the object of admiration, not the driver. It's an illusion, and the hidden money mindset sees right through it. This leads to the final crucial distinction: the difference between being rich and being wealthy. Being rich is a current income. It's visible. It's the person earning $1 million a year who also spends $1 million a year. They look impressive, but they are one bad month away from disaster. Wealthy is hidden. It's the income you don't spend. It's the assets you've acquired that haven't been converted into stuff. Wealth is the army of assets you built, working for you in the background, generating freedom. And that freedom isn't some abstract idea. It's the highest dividend money pays. The ultimate goal of wealth isn't to buy a Ferrari. It's to reach the point where you wake up every single morning and can say, with absolute certainty, I can do whatever I want today. It's the ability to take a sick day without your stomach sinking with anxiety. It's the power to walk away from a toxic boss because you don't need the paycheck. It's the freedom to wait for the right opportunity, not the first one that comes along. It's using your money to buy back control over your time, which is the only finite, non-renewable resource you have. That is the true prize. That is why you build the blueprint, buy the assets, and survive the fear. It's all for this.
The power to change your financial life isn't in your next paycheck. It's in your next thought. And with every dollar that passes through your hands, you and only you have the power to determine your destiny.
And if you're ready to learn more about the psychology behind success and wealth, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click that notification bell